We're over in the Am I the Asshole subreddit with a post that is 2 years old by I Heart Cheese a Lot. Am I the asshole for refusing to change my car because it embarrasses my brother? I, 17 female, am quite literally the stereotype of when a teenager gets their first car. My parents paid for my car and I paid for all the interior decorations, with the exception of the seat covers. My car is white on the outside and has pink leather seat covers. Covers, blankets, and pillows in the back, and cute charms hanging everywhere. So my brother, 16 male, is an athlete, and because my parents are tired, I drive him to his 5 a.m. practices to help them out. Oof. My brother has told me he hates my car, asked me to change it. And has thrown out some of my charms and blankets because he hates driving in a girly car. When I said no, I set him down to ask him why he does this, and he says he's embarrassed whenever I drop him off and pick him up. I asked him if he was getting made fun of at all, and he said he wasn't. And I have met all his teammates and coaches, and they do not seem like the type to tease someone for something like this. Now I would understand if this completely now I would understand this completely, except for the fact that my brother refuses to get his license because he doesn't feel like it. My parents said that if he got his license, they would pay for his car, gas, etc. But he just doesn't want to, resulting in me or my parents driving him around everywhere. Because he has the option to get his license, he just chooses not to. I don't think that it's fair for him to complain about my car when I get him to and from practices at 5 a.m. every day. And I normally buy him breakfast too because I know he is hungry. I don't ask for gas money either. Since he doesn't have a job, bro. I told him this and asked him to pay me for the thrown out charms and blankets, which is around $30. He went ballistic and said that it was unfair to him and threatened to rip my expensive seat covers if I didn't change the car. My parents are on my side, but but said that maybe I could get rid of some of the pink for him. So am I the asshole? No, actually, you are 1 year older than him. 1 year's older than him. 1 year. You are the asshole for not punching your brother in the stomach. You hit him with the feint up top to the face and go straight to the body. You drive it to the body. What are you doing? Siblings shouldn't fight, right? But you should whoop your brother's ass for throwing your shit away that you paid for. And he doesn't even have a job, so you can't even like run up in his room and take some money out of his wallet because he ain't got shit. And then you're spending all this money on his breakfast. And your parents said that they would pay for his vehicle, insurance and gas. Are they doing this for you? They pay for your vehicle. You pay for the decorations. Are they paying for your gas? They're definitely paying for your insurance because this is their insurance because you're 17, and they would do the same thing for him. You probably got your car years ago, potentially, maybe, possibly. You're gonna go to the top comment. Oh, this one got hella comments. 231 by Big Country 124. Not the asshole. Stop driving his ungrateful ass everywhere. Actually, Boeing 367-80 said, quote, I don't want you to be uncomfortable, so I'm not going to drive you in my car anymore. Because what entitled, spoiled ass 16-year-old tells someone to change their vehicle? Bitch, I don't got multiple cars. Why would a 17-year-old have multiple whips? How rich is this family, actually? Paying for 4 vehicles, insurance, gas, expensive leather seat covers, 5 a.m. practice every day. Oh, y'all rich. Y'all rich. Ooh. Ooh. Y'all got money. Okay. By by Professor Yaffle 1. My brain is fried trying to read that. Not the asshole. You are doing him a huge favor. Let him know that as he hates driving in your girly car, he no longer has to. He can organize a different way to get to his early practices. Also, unless your parents have made clear to him that he needs to replace your property, which he destroyed, they aren't really on your side. What did they do about him stealing slash destroying your stuff? Yeah, because he chucked it in the trash. Like, what are we doing here? You got to talk to your parents. Yeah, if they're vibing like this, they're on the wrong wavelength. It just, no. This is unacceptable behavior by your parents. And they've raised him to think this way. And again, be this entitled and be this ungrateful and be this fucking spoiled. I don't think I was offered a whip. I'm sorry. A car, a vehicle, a truck at 16. Right. 14 and a half, you can go for your provisional license. As a matter of fact, I was on bullshit timing. I got my license at 18, so I definitely wouldn't have been offered a vehicle then. But I was spoiled, and I did get a car when I was 18. I got a old school stick shift. I believe it was an Oldsmobile. And I crashed that in college. That's why I stopped going. Because I had trauma. But this episode is about misogyny, not trauma. So we're going to go over to a comment that OP replied to, because OP left some comments by Keto Lurker here. Keto is not a diet you should be on. Not the asshole. And your parents need to nip this hating pink girly shit stuff in the bud. Now, it is a symptom of thinking women as lesser, and I don't know if that's what he sees at home or if he's listening to some toxic manosphere shit, but that's actually the real problem. Your parents even suggesting that you get rid of some of the pink is a part of the problem. There is nothing wrong with pink, right? And OP replied to this. I am half Latin American, with my mom being an immigrant, and machismo culture is really big down there. So my brother and I were raised in that culture. I realized how this culture was harmful to young women and men at a young age, but I don't think my brother ever did. I've expressed concern to my dad, who is just white, limphal. LMAO. Ooh, limphal. I don't like that. I don't like saying that out loud. And he just kind of realized that this type of culture isn't a good one to be brought up in. But my mom just thinks it's us embracing part of our culture. No, no, bad mom. No. Just because it's your culture and you have traditions and you grew up in them, that does not mean shit. All right. This is just ideals forced on you by people who are now dead that you have never met. Right. Take those parts of the culture that you like and run with them, and the parts of the culture that you don't like, that are old, that are outdated, that need to be changed, and chuck them in the trash, right? You can then push forward new traditions that have been modified. You do not have to be beholden to traditions that are 500 or 1,000 years old, let alone two. You do better than every previous generation. This is what is required of you as a human being. You do not stay the same. You adapt and you evolve. You are an animal. Everything around you changes. So should you. For the better. Ugh. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. All right, we got a comment in reply to the comment that OP replied to, and OP replied to that comment. So we're going to read that comment. It's comment inception because these are just comment threads, right? By Intelligent Apple 840, a lot of reviled women's fashion came from male trends, often the military. Yeah, like the fade, like the taper haircut. It would be adopted at court by both men and women. Women would do it better slash so well that the style became associated with women instead of its previous super masculine military associations. And then men would stop wearing it slash start reviling it. Am I pronouncing that right? Tell me if I'm not. I don't think I've ever said that word out loud. High heels Mounted archers wore high heeled boots to stand in stirrups. I did not know that. And epaulets are two examples of this. I've never heard of that word. That's a new word. We're going to Google. I probably said it wrong.
Epaulette.
Oh, epaulets. An ornamental shoulder piece on an item of clothing, especially on the coat of a jacket or military. Those big ass motherfucking side shoulder pieces. Huh. Shit is ugly. Yeah, some British shit. Do we do that? I guess we kind of do the ropes, and then we got some buttons, so we don't have epaulets like that. I've also heard that up until the late 19th century, the idea of associating a color with gender wasn't really a thing. But it was a bit of a trend for marketing slash ad departments to dress small children who otherwise look alike in colors that signal gender. The boys were dressed in tones seen as vibrant and active, like pink, while the girls dressed in tones seen as soft and gentle, like blue. Then at some point it flipped, and the visual association became pink for girls and blue for boys. But it's really yet another example of how thoroughly ads and marketing shape social views and attitudes. This is probably like 1940s, 1950s Macy ads by those ad companies. There's a TV show where the main character is, I think, a piece of shit, but he works for an ad agency. And this is kind of close to um, not fictitious advertising information that you can go watch that show, right? It's definitely during that time period. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. Pink is for girls, blue is for boys. It's definitely during the early 1900s that this got thrown into our faces, right? Because you have a point where you're going from radio and audio and newspaper in the 1800s to the early 1900s, the tens, the teens to the 20s, the 30s, and into the 40s, where you have movies and television, right? And those are being seen by millions of people. It is in their households. So advertising definitely became a huge thing. And that started to shape how people view things. So, yeah, you can look it up yourself. And it should be pretty spot on with the information online. Right? It's not too old where you should be able to get the correct information for yourself. I believe it's Macy campaigns, though. I believe. I'm not too sure. We got another comment and a comment underneath that OP replied to. Not the asshole. Your parents need to hold their child accountable by unethical food. And Veterus71 replies, OP thinks the parents are on her side while they tell her to get rid of some of the pink to make him happy. They're conditioning her to accept abusive behavior from men. And OP replies, yeah, honestly, seeing how I don't think they're on my side. Honestly, seeing, damn. Yeah, my neighbor, man. My neighbor with his fucking car. I thought he left. I didn't even know he came back. I don't even know if he's a he. He might be a she. She might be just, wow. Honestly, seeing how I don't think they are on my side. Honestly, seeing how I don't think they are on my side. That read weird to me for a second. I think I forgot to add that I'm half Latin American, with my mom being an immigrant, and my machismo culture is really big there. And my brother and I were raised in it. So that's kind of why my brother acts the way he does. Oh, we got a reply to that. That might be a little interesting. I didn't read this one. Annie Flamingo 8978. To be frank, it could also be why you're asking if you're the asshole. I know it's the name of the sub, but just because your behavior is part of your culture does not mean that you should accept it as fact. Work to change it and your perspective as well. It's not healthy for anyone. And honestly, a strong boy or man would not be bothered by something as meaningless as a color. Be the example for your family. Yes. Yeah. You teach people and hit them with new information, they will change their minds. We got a couple more comments from OP. I got a bunch from OP. Why did I do that? I must have been happy with all these comments that I read them. Uh, OP replied, oh, it's the same person again. Veritas71. OP, I'm concerned that you've been conditioned to accept abusive behavior towards you. It's very disturbing that after your brother stole from you, destroyed your things, and threatened to do it again, you are still getting up crazy early to give him free rides and buying him breakfast and so on. Why? Is this how you're going to let a boyfriend or husband treat you? Also, please don't gaslight yourself. Your parents are very clearly not on your side. And OP replies, yeah, this was honestly such a big wake up call. Like reading the comments made me realize how I have normalized to accept this behavior from guys and how my parents are definitely not actually helping me in this scenario. I will be taking extra precautions going forward. I really truly hope you do because this is a dynamic that can be different when you're actually with a partner. You will like so much about them. You will let the things that you dislike about them be minimalized in your own mind, and you may not care about them, right? You may push them to the side, to the back of your mind, and things will slowly build up and they will treat you in such a way that you will stop liking it. And one day they may, and that is not a good thing for you, right? So you definitely need to educate yourself on how these things are bad. By Speed Damon 3, what car is it? My first car was embarrassing too, but it was better than walking and free. When I started making my own money, I got the car I wanted. Also, since you're a girl, what's wrong about driving a girly car? OP replies, it's a used white Jeep Wrangler. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know about cars, but I do know it was expensive for a first car. Yes, girl, I drove a stick shift. I am super grateful for my parents buying it for me, and I'll do my best to take care of it. Let me see like a 2010. Let me see about a 2010 fucking a Jeep Wrangler, a white Jeep Wrangler. I'm talking about the shit is girly because it's pink on the inside. Man, that pink accents go hard. Go hard, boy. 2010 Jeep Wrangler. Let me see what that's looking like used. Used. Let me see a price for it. For sale. I didn't even have to type that in. Carfax. Yeah, show me the car. Oh, Jesus. I was zoomed all the way in. Carfax. 10 bands, 11 bands, 10, 10 5, 10 9, 11 9, 11 7, 12 9, 10 4, 10 9, 11 9. And this is the older Jeep Wrangler. But even then, this is still a clean motherfucker right here. Even this boy, this Rubicon. Yeah, damn. I'm going to put this in a video. Damn. That's a terrible picture. It's clean. Ooh. Oh, and I'm not a fan of the way these. Ooh, I'm not a fan of this style of Jeep, and I own a Jeep. And I'm a bougie motherfucker. I got that anniversary boy, but I got that used too. Nah, I ain't get no new shit cause my credit is fucked. Let me see. Oh, I saved this comment for last. Hey, OP. Unrelated to your Am I the Asshole question, but you mentioned all your decorations. I just want to make sure you didn't put any ornaments or rhinestones over the emblem of your steering wheel or the panels where the airbags deploys them for during a collision. It turns them into projectiles. The most common one that's super dangerous is steering wheel bling, like the little rhinestone ones. Those turn into shrapnel that goes straight for the eyes and it can permanently blind you. Tricking out your interior is super cool. Keep enjoying it. Just make sure you're doing it safely, right? You got airbags that deploy from your steering wheel, that deploy from underneath your headliner, right? Which is right around the roof of your vehicle. How do I describe it? You close your door right there where the top of your roof is at the corner. You will have airbags deploy all along the sides, on both sides, to keep you from absolutely getting messed up. Definitely don't put things there. Do not. You don't want sharp things going into your dome because airbags deploy via jet fuel and move at several hundred miles per hour. I think over 100, definitely at a minimum. And that's not okay, right? Subsonic bullets fly at several hundred miles per hour, right? Subsonic is just is less than 600 miles per hour, I believe. I believe. Supersonic, 600 miles per hour. Supersonic. Hold on. Well, but then again, I just type in subsonic. Subsonic. 340 meters per second, 1,164 feet per second is how many fucking miles per hour? Good lord. Supersonic is 800, but subsonic is 76 to 383 miles per hour. Oh, okay. Then you have subsonic plus and transonic. We're not going to deal with that. So less than supersonic speeds is 843 miles per hour. Right. And oh wow, there are a lot of speeds. We're not going to get lost in that. OP replies, "Oh yeah, I didn't. I read about them and got scared, so I didn't buy anything that went over my steering wheels or panels. They are all like little plushies and a Sony, a bagel babies I put everywhere. That is cute. That is cute. Enjoy the things you enjoy. That is cute, but don't accidentally hurt yourself." And we have an edit. I love posts with edits from OP. I know this is a long one. It's been a few days, and thanks for all the support. After reading the comments, I had to sit down with my parents and had a talk with them about this issue. They tried to kind of defend my brother. I cut them off as soon as they tried and blatantly told them that this was a bigger issue than just a girly car, but one rooted in sexism and disrespect. It was a long talk, around 2 hours of me just essentially saying what all the comments were saying: shrapnel, shrapnel, and telling my mom specifically, I will not tolerate sexism, misogyny, and disrespect that is rooted in machismo's culture. By the end, they were quiet, and I told them until my brother apologized, got his permit, paid me back for everything, I wouldn't be helping. You can't see me. They said they understood and apologized to me, and it seemed sincere enough. Then I told my brother that I wouldn't be driving him anymore, and he looked confused. But I told him that my mom and dad could explain it. Even after all of this, he didn't understand. The spelling for everybody online hurts my soul. The next day, I was out with a friend, and when I came home, my brother came up to me and asked if we could talk. Of course, and I said, and we went to his room where I saw 3 new blankets, some new plushies that I used to keep in my car, and he gave me $100 from his savings. Ooh, and had a talk where he apologized for thrashing my things and thanked me for everything I did. He said that my mom and dad talked with him about these issues, plus the internal sexism, and never realized how degrading this was. He apologized again and said that he would work on it. So, whatever my parents said got through to him. And honestly, this was probably one of the most genuine apologies I've ever received. So, I accepted it, but I still made it clear I wouldn't be helping him out, which he understood. He actually signed up for driver's ed today and is scheduled to get his permit next month. My parents started taking him to practice in the early mornings and are feeling it. I'm super grateful it ended up this way, and I will be redecorating my car to make it safer. Thanks, everyone. Girl, did you have some rhinestones on your steering wheel? Why did it sound like you didn't in that comment you replied to, but you will be redecorating to make it safer? Girl. All right. But I love a positive ending to a story, especially these Am I the Asshole ones, because this hurts my brain. Moving on.